The ocean. A huge boundless mass of water that extends as far as the eye can see. Our ancestors left the ocean, hundreds of millions of years ago, to grow and evolve on land. None of us remember what it was like to live in the ocean, but we have not forgotten the deep sea. Thalassophobia. It is the fear of deep bodies of water like the ocean. This fear comes from the feeling of helplessness, from being in the ocean with no land in sight, or the fear of the unknown from the deep dark water, or the terrifying feeling you get when you know you're weaker and slower than any of the creatures around that want to hurt you. Welcome to the deep sea. Thalassophobia is one of my favorite fears because it combines a lot of other fears into one. The fear of the unknown, the fear of the dark, the fear of giant creatures, the fear of isolation, the fear of helplessness, losing control, and much more. Today I'll show you guys some games that for me incorporate this fear in a great way. And if you guys like this video, I can make it a series. I found a lot of interesting games while doing research for this video. As most of you know, Subnautica is a game in which you, the player, crash land on a planet that's almost entirely made out of ocean.
Launch in 3, 2, 1.
And slowly come to the realization that not only you are completely alone in this aquatic planet, but it is also filled with dangerous creatures that want to kill you and can't do it in a single bite. Luckily, another fellow spaceship realizes that your spaceship has been destroyed and comes to your rescue. They'll tell you to meet them in one of the rare small floating islands there, and when you go, you see an alien looking building, but try not to worry too much about it. Hooray! Finally saved, you say, as the rescue spaceship approaches. But then you turn around and realize that the alien looking building was in fact a giant weapon, made to shoot down spaceships. And while you watch the remains of the only ship that knew you were stranded in this isolated, uninhabited island fall into the bottomless ocean, a sense of hopelessness sets in. You are now truly alone. No one is coming to rescue you. No one even knows you're stranded. This is a galactic scale. By the time anyone realizes your ship is missing, you'll have long met your end of old age, if the creatures underwater don't get to you first. You dive back into the water and hear horrifying roars from alien creatures that dwarf you in size. But you know full well you'll have to dive deeper if you want to find the materials you need to survive, and maybe even escape from this planet. This game isn't a horror game in gameplay, but more than delivers with tone and atmosphere. The game introduced me to the concept of thalassophobia, and did the same for most other people. I'd go as far as to say that without Subnautica popularizing the concept, it wouldn't be such an explored fear in recent media. The game can make you feel at ease in shallow waters, but that just makes the immensity of the deeper waters more crushing. You feel so small in this huge ocean filled with alien fish and dangerous leviathans. And the deeper and further you go, the scarier and bigger the surroundings and creatures get. If you're watching this video, you probably played it, but if you haven't, I highly recommend it. And it's also great for people not used to or good with horror, because it isn't the main focus. Another game that encapsulates the fear of the unknown in thalassophobia is Iron Lung. Iron Lung takes place in the far future, when humanity prospered in the galaxy, until one day, suddenly every known star and habitable planet mysteriously vanished, along with whatever and whoever happened to be on them, leaving behind an empty universe of asteroids and lifeless moons, where the only remnants of humanity were those who were in space stations or starships at the time. With supplies dwindling, humanity searched far and wide for new resources, until they discovered a blood ocean and an empty moon. Knowing this may be their only chance to find resources, but without the knowledge of what lies inside, they sent you, in an old rusty submarine, with barely any visibility to search what lies in the blood ocean. You are not expected to survive. You are just a tool for the most powerful and wealthy to gather information on an unknown phenomena. You are just a tool, probably one of many. You just drew the short straw and were sent in first. The game itself is set inside a rusty, claustrophobic, one-man submarine without any visibility to the outside. You have to navigate the ocean of blood blindly and go to key locations to take pictures while hoping not to be seen by whatever lurks in the depths. The only tools in your hand are an incomplete map, proximity sensors, sound, and a primitive external camera which can be used to take pictures you need to complete your mission, or to get a grainy low-resolution, barely understandable visual of what's happening outside. It's truly one of the most thalassophobic, yet at the same time claustrophobic games I've ever experienced, and I highly recommend you do too. The last game I'll talk about today is called Waterwomb World. It is, for me, the most disturbing one of the three. Waterwomb World shows the journey of a devout Christian who has forsaken modern society and religious takes and is fixated in discovering Eden, the point where humanity first fell from grace. His journey led him to the Gasper Zone, a remote region deep in the ocean that he plans to investigate with the help of a submersible lab. In his quest to get closer to God's plan, he uncovers disturbing truths. The game's visuals are grainy and uncanny and serve to amplify the disturbing feeling you get from the gameplay and main character. You're an obsessed, blind devotee that would stop at nothing to uncover God's most sacred creation. During gameplay, you search the ocean floor and then analyze your increasingly disturbing findings in your lab, which starts to morph your character slowly into a more deranged form. I don't want to spoil anymore, but if you're a fan of underwater and Lovecraftian horror, I would highly recommend this short but intense game. Thank you for watching, and if you like this style of video or think I could improve on some things, I would really appreciate the feedback. I would also really appreciate it if you subscribed and showed me some support. More videos like this one are coming, so stay tuned and have a great night.